The following video was pre-recorded on twitch.tv/codedman9000. More information on the stream times at the end of the video. Previously on Stone to Space.
For the start of Chapter 3, we went to Kerbal Space Program to learn how to make rockets so that we could explore the stars for a new home. We began playing on career mode while not knowing anything about what we were doing. After doing some research off-stream, we then moved to the science mode with newfound knowledge. We went to both moons, created communication networks, planes, science missions, a space station, and then ended the game by traveling all the way to Duna in the Antari ship.
After arriving at Duna, our ship the Antares fell apart, causing us to land on Duna and mine its resources so that we could fix the Antari ship. We unlocked various buildings, and also different types of science. After fixing everything but scanners on the ship, we then left the planet behind us as we continued to travel in space. Partially during our space flight, we landed on an asteroid. Over the course of a few hundred cycles, we had mined out the asteroid, converting its resources into various things that we needed in order to keep 24 dupes alive. We made a lot of automated machines to take, cool, or convert items into other items. We then turned on a machine that would allow us to take a dive into the dreams of one of our dupes. After our first dupe dream in Vintage Story, we came back to Oxygen Not Included. We then used our rockets to go to different asteroids. We went to a water-filled asteroid, a lava-filled asteroid, and we also went to a frozen asteroid to get our final crop. After going back and forth multiple times from the water and lava asteroids, we made our last and final endgame materials. While doing this, we also finished upgrading our main base, and also found both the Temporal Tear Opener and the Temporal Tear. After our second dupe dream in Timberborn, we came back to Oxygen Not Included again. We spent a while trying to get enough radiation to use the Temporal Tear Opener the wrong way, before ending up using Weaselworts. We spent time digging out more of the second asteroid, before finally using the Temporal Tear Opener and sending our first rocket of 4 dupes through the Temporal Tear. After our first rocket of 4 dupes went through the Temporal Tear, they ended up in an unexpected place. They found themselves on a frozen asteroid with new plants, crops, and 3 new critters. We spent time building a self-sustaining base and found out that if ranched correctly, each of the 3 critters fed into the next either by creating food for the next critter or food for the next critter's food source. We then radioed to our original colony to tell them where we ended up so that they could change the destination of the next rocket. Up next, we went back to our original colony to prepare and send a second rocket through the Temporal Tear. Once the next dupes came out of the Temporal Tear, they found themselves on a flooded asteroid. Through many cycles, they made a self-sustaining base and ranched the new crops and some of the new critters that they found. They then radioed back to the original colony to tell them where we ended up so that they could change the destination of the next rocket. Hello and welcome to a Twitch Plays Along series called Stone to Space. Today we're in Chapter 3, Space Travel. Today we are playing Oxygen Not Included. Thank you, Gino. Apparently, something went wrong, and my OBS decided to take off all of my mics from the mic. I have been talking for the past hour, and no one could hear me. Welcome and congratulations on getting first, Gino. Congratulations on your 20 stream streak, and thank you again. So what we talked about today is that I have a special guest in my room that you guys can't see. We saw before stream started. One of the kittens that we had previously given away to a friend, their family went on vacation until next Thursday and has given us the kitten to look after. Their kitten knows their name, so I'm not going to say their name until they're awake. I'm trying to let them sleep. And they are not fixed. So they hissed at Paintbrush. Paintbrush did the same thing back. They didn't try swatting each other or fighting while being held. They just hissed at each other. But because they are not fixed or neutered, we are not going to allow them to be around my two cats so that they don't try to mate with their mother like Paintbrush used to do. If they were neutered, we let them mingle a little bit after today. But since they're not, we are not going to let them see the rest of the family. And the first night was a little rough because I kept meowing, you know, strange place. I didn't know what to do. But today they're doing pretty fine. Right now they're sleeping, like I said. They are vocal, but they're starting to relax. They're starting to get used to the room. And we also went over everything we did in the last stream, which was mostly pip ranches, Dreckos, a little bit of incubators, and the SPOM, getting some of the rooms done. All I did today so far was add in a bunch of these pipes, as you guys saw while I was being silent. We're trying to get the gas pressure to raise, because I saw that we were lowering in our gas pressure. I also put these doors here, as you guys saw, so that none of the dupes were coming in here and sucking up all the gas, which would make the spawn break at some point. Or it would make us pump out the hydrogen into the atmosphere, which we already have a little bit here. That seems to have fixed that. Will is the only one allowed to get in there, and we're struggling to keep our dupes healed. I'm also trying to make a little bit of steel so that we can get through the rest of our steel here, so that we can make a steam room to cool this area down. And then we shouldn't have any problems with that anymore. I should start making the steam room here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Get into here. And if I go like this, that'll be the way in, this is the way out for the liquid. Which means we actually have to go down to there. We're gonna need a way to get power into here. So I think we'll do conductive wires. Cobalt should be fine. Where does the wire go on this? The right side, okay. We'll just go up for right now. And then from a sensor, liquid bridge, automation wires. That should be all the initial stuff. They're starting to do this stuff for some reason. Let's lower the priority of all of this down to 4. What I did here was notice that we were producing a little bit of steam. So I'm trying to let the water drip down and not sit right where the building is. Obviously the steam's not going to help. We did, on the other hand, make all the steam we needed, or all the steel we needed. And I found out that it's going to keep doing this off-gas thing until we get down to 800 in contents. We moved the apothecary down here so that they weren't sitting in that area. And I'm just going to let them fix this up whenever. Alright, how are we doing on gas? Down here is 1200, up here is 15. Over here is max pressure, because it has to go all the way down here and then go around. We are actually going to help that out. We do 2 wires there. They're slowly getting more of this done. And we're just going back and forth between who's getting healed at the hospital. I wonder if we could have enough room to do 2 hospitals, like 2 of these in one room. How large can a hospital be? 96, so it can be a ranch. Half 96 is 48? Or is it? Yeah, it's gotta be 48. We can do 2 of these rooms in one thing. Let's move this down here then. So what is this times 2? 64. So it goes 2 from the ladder. So if we do that and we add a door there, we should be able to do 2 bathrooms, or 2 outhouses. 2 sinks. 2 mess tables. 2 of these. This is future stuff not needed to be done. They did finish all of the pipes apparently, so that's going to slowly let oxygen go to where it needs to be. This will get better over time. I'm not expecting it to do anything drastic right away. But we do need to get this done so that we can pull down our oxygen area. We also don't have a lot of aluminum, so let's get this going on at least 10 orders of aluminum. They're not getting the heat issue from over here, so I'm gonna mop up all the water. Or at least get them to. And who is the next to most hurt? I see somebody at 24, that's Eduardo. They apparently can't make that, so let's do a ladder there and then they should be able to. I'll take the flute coral seed. We also got a bunch of research done so that we can start doing the plastic stuff, and we found out that the private bedroom needs backbowl tiles. So we have a barracks, we have a luxury barracks, we're gonna have a luxury bedroom, or private bedroom. Since aluminum doesn't overheat overheated water, it doesn't immediately turn into steam. This is slowly going down. We will eventually run out of water and start using the hot salt water. And I don't remember if I already said it, but I had to stop the boops coming in here so they would stop doing this, which would bring the hydrogen down. I think I did say that already, but just in case. You know, have a visual. They do prioritize getting the bottles over breathing in the atmosphere. So if we had more bottle fillers, we'd probably do better. Can I get another 2 in this area? I can, so you might be able to do a little something like this. Where one pipe feeds both of them. I'm not sure why Wubby is doing supplying errands rather than getting rid of all the gunk. Eduardo's doing pretty good on getting healed. It looks like all of our ranches have 8 critters in them. So we have all full ranches. We might start putting in some automation for this to get all of the wood out of here and all the dirt somewhere else. But now that we have full ranches on the pips, we can tell them to start cracking pip eggs. First, that is on a 7. Let's go down here and add pips to it. Apparently we have poke shells somewhere. I don't remember seeing a poke shell somewhere, but it was queued up as an egg that we've seen. Maybe on oil zone? Ah. This area would have had the poke shells. Looks like they died. They're doing a bunch of this stuff. How is the hospital? Hospital's ready for the next person. Who is that going to be? Who's 26? Dotterly. No, we could put in, you know, let's put Wubby actually. Wubby's only at 97. We'll do Steeler right after Wubby. They're so close to being fully healed that we might as well just heal them properly to get them to go a little bit faster. I don't know what Wubby's doing. Oh, Wubby's building something. So they're gonna finish building that pipe thing and then do it. Wubby, why are you not going on to the thing down here? We also probably want this on a 7. Are they not going to come down here? Oh, they might not. We'll put it back to Dotterly. We do have the steel for this, so let's grab the aqua tuner. Place that in right there. We're also going to need bottle emptier. And we just need to fill this with the equivalent of 1 tile. Next thing we need is to make a spot that we can have water ready for us to pull from. Why is this not emptying? I think it needs a bridge. No, really? That's not what the issue is? What is the issue then? Ah, it was this. Okay. Okay, with that bridge, that should get this to empty out all the time, so it's not gonna make Willow pee on the floor. We apparently did all the aluminum, too. Or we're waiting on aluminum. We're waiting on aluminum. Is there any small pieces? It's a little bit out here on the other side of the SPOM. Is there any where we can reach easily? I guess all the aluminum is right here. We do have aluminum ore thrown about the base, which we'll probably have to switch to iron. So when we finish digging this out in the future, we'll have to start switching everything to cobalt or iron ore. The vitals should be going up over time. You know, Wubby is still at 97. 0 per cycle. Total train 0 per cycle. I thought they go up in health over time. Dotterly is now done. Can I put Steela on this and Steela goes there? Or is Steela going to do the same thing? If I put it on 9. Let's do Shinebug. Steela, you can stop doing the pips. I guess they're not going to. What next? So Steela and Wubby are for some reason not coming over here. I guess we'll do Sanyar next. Willow is the lowest right now, but Sanyar being closer should get done faster. Plus Willow's the only one allowed in here. How much water do we have in here? This is already enough. Deconstruct that. We can deconstruct this. We can put the liquid valve there. And then we could start building in all of these once they deconstruct the ladder. This should stop them from getting the gas in the atmosphere as much as they are. How is our atmosphere doing? It's doing pretty good, honestly. There are some spots that have stuff stuck in it, but overall, it's all getting pushed down like it should. Carbon dioxide is getting pretty thick, though. That's going to be an issue we have to look into. This isn't going to be a hospital yet until they put those mess tables and the doors. But pretty soon we'll be able to take care of 2 dupes at once. Sonya is about to be done, by the way. They're at 99, 100. They're done. Willow is going up in health, but for some reason the boops are not. I'm going to assign Steela and see when they change to doing that. Alright, they did this. Let's sweep this up. And then I'm going to queue up all those. We're going to need to put a transformer right here. Connect that by wires. This is going to have to be connected to our main power grid, which will go like this. I know we're going to have to build ladders to get to that. Deconstruct that. There's also oxygen in there. I forgot to vacuum that out. We do need to vacuum that. Alright, we'll build more stuff and then figure out how to vacuum it out. I think I'll put a liquid lock over here. I'm gonna want gas pump. Not these tiles. We're gonna do regular tiles because they're cheaper. You know what? We could actually just put a little blob right there and call that the liquid lock. Yeah, hold on. we should actually not do that and instead do these. So that we could put a wheel on here with a battery and have that power the pump, which just pumps out. So here we need a single thing of water on this. How are we doing down here? We still have this assigned to steal it, and now everyone is saying that they're hurt. Alright, well, we'll put Willow on there. Get Willow healed up. Is this a hospital? It is. So we can deconstruct those tiles and the tiles in here like this. Someone had scolding. Why is this backed up yet again? Do I need another bridge here to show direction? It's still not doing it. Why? Why does that bridge stop the water from knowing where to go? I'm bridging onto this. What if I do this? That stops it too. It should be prioritized going over there and then just going up. I'm telling it not to go this way. Alright, what if we go like this instead? You don't need to be on that until we put the liquid lock on. You know what? That's probably going to help us. Let's deconstruct this. Re-enable the building. And we just have to get all the gas out of here. That's going to become a vacuum first. Apparently, if you're less than 50 grams, it's an unbreathable atmosphere. I never noticed that number. That's cool to see. So it's about to go into milligrams. There we go. That'll become a vacuum in a short amount of time. I'll take some puffs. And I'm going to tell them to sweep up everything that they can sweep. I'm just doing a quick check to make sure that everything is doing okay. Let's deconstruct all of that. Lock this door. We can deconstruct this entire room. And honestly, we could just build a tile there and have this the way in. So if I start queuing up 2 people for these, are they going to actually come down here? It's defrag time, so not right now, but hopefully soon they will. We're down to micrograms. Okay, gas pressure. This is slowly working its way out. How is the pipes? They're actually doing pretty good. Wow. I wasn't expecting them to be backed up this much already. Why was there a raw eggshell down here? Why did Willow go down there to eat? Oh, because Willow doesn't have a table up here. I'll have to put that in for Willow. Actually increase the priority on that. Now that we have these 2 doors up here, we can deconstruct those doors. Lock these, as this is going to be our inside base ladder. Deconstruct those. Deconstruct this. I have the ability to close this in, so that should be correct there. This, we need a way for it to be considered a room now. We're going to put a sideways door over here. as a temporary fix to make sure that this stays as a laboratory for the moment. Later on, we'll have this in its own specialty room. If there was a way for me to flip this building so that the radiation was inputted on the right, I would be able to figure out how to do this a lot more properly. Like, I could just move the radiation to the right side for sure and have it piped up and then down, but they're still going to come in this way unless I put this on the left side of the doors. So this would have to be like over here on the ranches with the way that we're building our base. Or I could just place it here, the ladder there. It would shorten the room. So we might make 2 laboratories with the building for the databanks. Okay, this is a vacuum. Put that in, and we can start deconstructing all this. I do want to make sure that they put the tile in before. Alright, that's done. We can go in here and grab turbine. Place that right there. Now we deconstruct all of this. You know what? Why not do our liquid storage over here? And also, this is online with our ladder run. Actually, no, it's not. It's 1 tile lower. But still, I'm looking where these are at. We're gonna turn this into our liquid pumping area. So we are gonna want... You know what? No, let's move this up to being in line with the ladder runs. We'll do that so they can jump over. This is saying that it doesn't have the pipe connection, which it doesn't. Now it will. We will put ladders here so that we can get in there and put ice at the bottom. And all of our sublimation stuff. That will go there. And then this little line here is just going to go do it like this. Copy settings to here. Deconstruct this building. We're going to deconstruct this as well. This is going to be placed up here. For right now, we'll do these. And then we're going to slowly build this water into a box for that pump. Alright, it looks like Wubby and Steel are just not going to do anything in here, so if I put Dotterly, Eduardo... Dotterly apparently gets put on it. I might need to reload for this to actually work. How are we doing over here? This is actually working now. So if we deconstruct that one pipe that's sticking out, we should be fine on that. This allows us to still get water. And over here, this is now connected into a pipe network. Let's figure out how we're going to get this to hold a steam turbine and also come over here. First step, steam turbine. That's pretty simple and easy to connect into. We'll just bring these over to here. I don't know if I need to cool them down. We're going to skip those. So let's grab the radiant pipes again. We're going to need to come out this way. So if I go in this way. And instead do something like that. We of course run out of aluminum. But now I can at least know where the pipes are going to go. And we're obviously not going to do stuff in there or right here. Right now we're just going to go up like this. And down here we're going to just go across and then up. Until a day where it says that this is getting too hot. Next step, we're getting all the way up here to get all this aluminum. Actually don't need to dig that. Grab a snazzy suit. Who is getting the snazzy suit? Eduardo's getting the snazzy suit. Oh, I didn't realize that I had more aluminum that I didn't have to come up here and dig this out. But we'll have that on for forever. Who's next on this? Sanyar's pretty low. Eduardo's over here. But not actually going to the room. So let's put Sanyar and Willow. Apparently that was enough to stop them from being in there. But Willow just went to go get food. Yeah. Now we have extra pips in here. Apparently we're full on power for the once in a very long time. Next dormancy for this is in 10 cycles though, so we might run out of power before it comes back. We have water here for some reason. Oh, that must have been from the liquid lock. It's okay, we'll get that taken care of. It looks like they're doing a little bit of cleanup work before they go back to building. What is over here that is off-gassing? I can't tell, so I'm just going to tell them to sweep up all of that stuff. A little bit of water down here, too. No, I'll skip that. Alright, they are making the iron. Or the aluminum, I mean. Putting in the pump. Let's grab off of here. Like this. No, I'll have to go up one and then go over so that they can actually reach to it. And then we'll put a bridge there. This way, when we destroy the bridge, it'll just pipe back into this, eventually. And there's a little bit of carbon dioxide in here that's just sticking around. I would like to put airflow tiles on these two places. That should help carbon dioxide escape this area. Can they jump up here? They can. Alright, I don't have to dig that out, just for them to get up. I'm not seeing any other geysers up here yet. I am still looking for that one geyser we have not discovered. Not seeing it though. But we do have a lot of copper, which we could go out here to dig up and use instead of aluminum. I think we're doing okay for right now. And this isn't going to give off anything until they get down to the first bridge. And it's going to have a lot of work to do once we start getting stuff into here. Are they getting scolded from up here? Solder. No, you're getting scolded from here. From aluminum. You know, at this point, I don't think I need to put 2 tiles anymore. We're gonna keep building it in so that there's no water out here at this ladder point. And then we'll have to figure out something else to do with this. I think we're gonna have to start cooling this water as it comes in by really making this into a steam room like I was saying, and then putting the aqua tuner feeding into the metal refinery. We'll figure it out as they're doing this. I'm curious to find out how we ended up getting to this amount of power. Apparently we also made the eco power banks enough. Alright, let's get this research for the Atmos suits. And we're going to need to find a lot of oil, because this amount of oil is not going to stop the heat. We'll have to make a double liquid lock. How many gaskets do I have? Can I put this to 8? Okay, that got rid of carbon dioxide, which means that this isn't going to overflow. I don't think I have 8 gaskets anymore. So let's order 4 here. .3 tons of water. And it's only supposed to have 800. We have 5,400 things of water in here. That's just gonna keep breaking. We'll take a little bit of heat. Let's do our first prediction. This little blue button in the top left corner. Is that going to be tops, bottoms, buildings, decorations, or wallpaper? You guys have 10 minutes to decide, starting now. And we're going to start making this a little bit bigger. We at least need 4 tiles, right? Yeah, we need a 4 tile room underneath this. So what I'm gonna do is go down to the 5th tile here, which is this spot. And I'm gonna slowly build my way in. First I want to do this so I can get the ethanol to move out of that tile. Then we're gonna have to come down here and dig this out a little bit just so that we can box this in. this is creating steam. Just making an issue over here. Let's turn this into iron so we're not fixing it constantly. Are you fixing this? No, you're deconstructing it. Alright. Alright, that pushed the ethanol, so we come up here, we're getting to this. And then we want to drop this at least one tile, so we're just going to dig out this entire area. That'll drop it down into here and the chlorine gas will rise, but that's fine. I do need to dig this down one more tile. And I need to start filling in these tiles. Which this is actually going to be an insulated tile. Wubby might actually dig himself into a hole here. Which I think he already has. So let's dig this out before he does do that. And I forgot that we were researching that whole time. What did we research? The Atmos suits. Gotcha. Wubby, you just boxed yourself in. Can you get out? Nope. Dig that out then. Dig that out. Put ladders right there. That should be enough. And then this comes down to here and goes in. That can be all boxed in. Hopefully they're actually using these buildings. Why are you going into the steam to get stuff? Who is that? That's Sanyar. Nobody goes in the steam room. They still haven't made the gaskets as far as I know. If I try to put these in... It actually says I don't have enough refined metal, which is true. Because I just told them they can't get into the cobalt. So if I allow at least Willow to go in there... we can see that we have 6 gaskets. Which is true. Okay, we do have enough. Once we make those 2 more gaskets, we'll have enough for this. You know, I actually don't need that ladder. How is there oxygen there to breathe? We also need to start putting in a double liquid lock. Inside's going to be a little bit of oil, which I'm going to have to move from over here to in these tiles, and hopefully the liquids don't do weird things. We'll have to get the main power spine to come down here somehow. I might take the long way around so that we don't go through the base, because I can't put them in tiles. I'm also not liking the look of this one extra insulator tile. That can be done later. We have these. If we were to grab oil from the other planet by putting a dupe in an Atmos suit and then sending him through, we could bring more oil to this area. Oh, another suit. Nice. Everyone except for Willow is going to be in snazzy suits, it seems. I should probably grab one more bed for the next dupe. And I think we might have to just accept that they're going to have a skill that we're already using. Let's do the first prediction. We have 10 points in tops, 10 points in buildings, and 30 points in wallpaper. We did get a bunch of clothing the last stream, so we might get something that's not clothing this time. Or at least once this stream. And I was right, we got wallpaper. Congratulations to who I'm going to assume is Gino for getting an extra 20 points. A bright yellow triangle. The bright yellow triangles on this wallpaper look like an X marking the spot, or an hourglass marking the passage of time. I've never seen this type of wallpaper. I think. We did just look at it. You know what? I'm curious. Is that the first kind of that wallpaper we have? No, it's not. Well, kind of. These are just one triangle. It's not 4 triangles. Yeah, what is with these pink squares? Like things are corrupted. That's the casts on Sonyar's arms. I feel like my game is corrupted in some way. How difficult would it be for me to add in another one of these? Six tiles. If I go down 6 tiles, so it's underneath this pinch of pepper nut. It would be there. So that should be the 7th tile. Yes. We would want some of this to be insulated. Should be that amount. Possibly this as well. This would be the food. So we actually have to go to the 8th tile to start putting in the building. That does not leave much room with this being in the way. So I might want to raise this up. At least one. I'll do that by making these one tile too short. And this is just so that we can get Dreckos as well. This can be done later on. Our first stack is getting this done, and they're not on a 6. That would explain why nobody did it. No, I'm gonna set this to being 10. So that they stop making it in a little bit. That should mean that we can get in there. We're gonna have to move this up one. So we'll just go like this. Because we're gonna have to put Atmos suits in this area anyway. This is ready to be deconstructed and dug out. Double doors there. 2 sinks. 2 toilets. With that double door there, we won't need a door here. We do need to make sure that the room is not too large, though. Because I think it can only go up to 96. Actually go up to 120. So as long as we put door over here, we will be fine with not having a door here. We don't need the laboratory right now, so it's okay that it's not going to be in a room. This ladder's temporary, it's not going to be there for forever. These rooms are not going to be here for forever. So I'm not too worried about how they look right now. Incapacitated. Who's incapacitated? I just saw that. Eduardo. Okay, Wubby, you're going to be switched for Eduardo. Two incapacitated now. Daughterly all of a sudden. No more making aluminum. No more fixing that pipe. I'll let them fix it once and then that's it. Did that get rid of all of the water? It did. So I can probably get them to fix this again. Okay, that's one way to get around that. That's not bad. We have a lot. Apparently, that's more aluminum than we need for this. So we actually have all the aluminum we need. Otherwise, we wouldn't have any queued up here. I didn't notice that when I turned this off. But that's not bad to see. Something I do need to take into account for is these two tiles when we move this up. We're gonna have to place two tiles somewhere else. Or put two doors here. I think we might just do that, put two doors. So we'll put another door right here when we go to move this up one. This door actually needs to be up one, not where it currently is. And we can honestly close this in more. Alright, let's get rid of buildings, that area, and demolish this when they can. And I guess also background tiles in that area. That's what's actually going to be here. That's 6 from there. This should be 5. We're going to need to carefully move oil to this tile. And I'm going to open this up so that they can get into there. It'll be everyone, I guess. Did not mean to open it like that. Why'd you eat it there instead of in the... Weird. They're still not going in... Can they only use one mess table in here? Seems like it. And you could have went up there and grabbed the bottle. No, you couldn't have, because they emptied it out. What's in here? Glass. We'll take that. Don't forget to throw a ball to catch the sulk. I had a feeling it was going to escape soon. Nice job, Gino. I did not catch it, but you did. Alright, I'm not sure what's going on with them building things. I know they're doing defragments here. There's 2 people in the hospital. But I don't think those 2 people are builders. They're also fairly close to being fully healed. What does the doctoring thing do if it doesn't prevent them from doing this? Like, if a regular dude can do that, why do we have the doctoring thing? Does it make them faster? Or does it allow us to do the other tasks? Oh, it's a regular... Advanced medical booster. Allows apothecary, sickbay, and disease clinic. Oh. So anyone could be a doctor, but only the person with the booster can use the apothecary. I get it now. Alright, who's next to go in here? Who is in there? Eduardo is in there right now. They're almost done as well. Let's do Willow. Eduardo just got out, so who's the next lowest? Stila. I'm trying to keep Wubby out so that they can do the medicine thing. Willow's about to be out already. Willow's already done. Next person, Sanyar. It was nearby, so I'll let them finish doing their task and then bring them in. And then there's only one more person to do. Let's get rid of that door. We're gonna have to put a bottle emptier there. only Willow can build in here. I forgot about that. Once we do all this, we're gonna have to allow the boops to go into that room. Speaking of, we need to put this there. Battery next to it. A pump in here. Allowing the gas to escape. Get that placed in. I'm purposely not putting in the vent there so that we can get rid of all of this stuff first. And so that we can place in the water. Who is left? Wubby is left in here. Now, if they can finish all of these, that would box this in. They do have the 2 tables before this becomes a hospital, either way. So this should be lab, hospital, once the 2 mess tables get placed in. We're probably going to need to put a high pressure gas valve on this. Now, I don't really know what the oil is going to do when it gets placed here. I'm hoping that it just pushes the water over since there's so little water. Okay, this should be a hospital now. It is. So we can move Wubby to up here once they're done being treated. I can get rid of one of each of these though. Alright, can I get somebody to bring water over to here, please? Alright, Wubby has been treated, so let's bring them up here. Then we can tell them to just deconstruct everything. This is very hot water, but it's at least a liquid lock. I'm going to stop them adding more to it just so that we can get rid of the gas first. Oh. I should have did something else first. don't know how to do this properly. We're gonna get rid of some steam. I also need a little bit of steam. Or steel. I need 2 orders of steel. That's all the iron that I currently have available to me. I'm looking for any close by iron so I don't have to dig through something to get to it. And I think I have to dig through something no matter where I look. So let's take the iron from right here. And I have to take a quick phone call, so let's go into our bear back scene and I'll be back in a little bit. And we're back. Sorry about that. The person I was calling is the owner of the cat that is visiting. So I had to take that call. I just wanted to check in on them. Alright, once they do these, we can break this open and put in the better wire conductor so that we can bring the power spine into here. I should probably start working on getting the ladder run to here that the power is going to be supplied with. Or supplied by, so let's go straight up this way. And then over. And then we'll add the power spine going straight down it. Will is slowly doing this. I'm actually going to open the top half to the boops. So that that gets done. They deconstruct a majority of this area. I'm just going to put them in. That's going to start vacuuming this out, which is fine, but we are going to end up opening it up to put in the new thing. Do I actually need 400? Or did I only count for 1? No, I did count for 2. Okay. I wanted to make sure I did that. Let's open this up. That's going to release a little bit of steam into this area, which should get vacuumed out pretty quickly. It does move a little bit more water out here, which is fine. The steam getting picked up is getting sent outside. So we'll at least try to mop that up. I don't know how well it's going to be mopped. And this is actually kilograms of steam. I think what we want to do is that. So that we don't have to keep mopping it up. They still need to do one thing of steel, which needs iron. We haven't dug the iron, I guess. Okay, this is turning into a vacuum. So if we get rid of that, and we do empty storage, that should drop all the water. Alright, that's all good. We do have the seal for one of these. Can I place it in with that pump next to it? I can. Alright, we'll place that in. Let's also open this now while we have this open. And I want this done first. It puts the water above the oil. It's cancel that build for a second. We'll move that water over. We can open this up so that the water can escape that way. So that is essentially filling this up to being a full liquid lock. Can reopen that. And maybe place this in? Nope, we need that deconstructor first. There we go. And then we can grab the rest of the oil. Change that priority of the relocate. Once this is built, we can reopen this. Actually, let's not empty that until we move the water out of here. Is somebody going to build this? There we go, it's built. So if I place that in now, should move the water to the right. Then we can place in another one. It might go above the tile, which we'll have to worry about later on. I'm hoping it doesn't do that. Let's deconstruct this. We do have a decent amount of liquid in here. I won't have to add too much to it, but I'm hoping I don't have to deconstruct this just to replace it. I do have to deconstruct it. Okay. We're gonna mop this little bit of water here. Looks like they're working on this. If I dig those two tiles out, we should drop any sand that we find. Actually, there's only one thing of sand. They built a lot of this. Might be time to just allow them to build everything. They're saying they're stuck. They are stuck. And Sanyar is very hurt. We'll put Steel and Sanyar in here. This is all done, and it has water in it. That water is going to increasingly get hotter. Let's deconstruct that door. And I guess we can deconstruct this door as well. I'm gonna change that to being below. It looks like the water being in here lowered the temperature enough that it's not being overly hot. This area is just increasingly getting hotter and hotter. We definitely need to move the metal refinery into here. Which is what we're working on. We're also working on this ladder. Alright, the water is all completed in here. I'm gonna cut right here so that the water backs up a little bit because we're having some supply issues here. Okay, there we go. We add that back in, it should be all full packets from here. Deconstruct this, then we turn that on. Kinda want this done immediately. Turn that on. So now that's going to run and take out a majority of our power. That's going to run for quite a while. But that should now keep this forever cooled. And we'll be able to tell because this will get cooled down first. Then this should be slowly creating steam. Ah, I didn't look at that fourth dupe. Oh well. Let's build a tile here and start our second prediction of today's stream. Is the little blue button in the top left corner going to give us tops, bottoms, buildings, decorations, or another piece of wallpaper? You guys have 10 minutes to decide starting now. Oh wait, everything's moved over. Why am I building this? We do want to switch that for an insulated tile. And we also want to deconstruct that and replace that with the power supplying tile. This, I guess, could be Eduardo? See the next lowest or next highest? Will is the next highest. We'll do Eduardo. He was right there. So is Willow, apparently. This is going to be this tile. Not made out of aluminum. Hold on. And so that, did we make the other thing of steel? We didn't yet. Okay. Does that mean we still didn't dig out the iron? I never queued up the iron to be dug. Oh, right, the phone call. Not quite the majority of this is all 4 tiles high. There we go. We have iron, so I can queue up iron right here. They'll do the iron, then they'll do another thing of steel. It looks like the water freely leaves when it's doing iron, but the steel overheats it enough. We should now be able to do one thing of steel. You know what, I will deconstruct all of that. Yep, scalding because the water's too hot. Empty the storage, please. I think it's funny that that stops the pipe from breaking by just emptying it. Why is there water in here? We have the steel, so we can place this in right there. And also put the gas pump back in. Let's start getting this not made out of aluminum. We need something different than aluminum to do all that. Let's change it all to iron. I know we're using iron a lot now, but it should help. We'll also readjust all of this, which I'm assuming is also made out of iron. Okay, that should all be correct. Looks like some of this might have already been made out of iron. Nope, it just didn't show up that it was being switched. Alright, that should give us a lot of aluminum back. This is already a vacuum. Get rid of all that, get rid of all this power, get rid of the vent. Looks like I already moved the oil and emptied it, so this is all the oil that we had. We are going to leave a bottle emptier right here for oil. And then we're not going to do anything with the metal refinery until we have Atlas suits for in here. So I think it would be a good idea to follow the line of this. For our floor, for the Atlas suits. And get rid of everything in between. Along with digging out all of this. You know what? While we're down here, might as well build that in. Who still needs to be fixed? Sanyar and Willow. This is close to being done. They did a good portion of our power supply. Fortunately, we ran out of power, so this is not running anymore. It did get close to being cold, though. But it is currently getting hotter and hotter. So I'm still thinking we need to get down further into the asteroid. I'm gonna relocate this to up here. And I think we're gonna have to do my ladder trick. Make sure we're not still dropping stuff super far down. So if I do that, then tile right there. We should now have all the gaskets we need. We do have the ability to get cobalt from in here, although we might get hurt trying to do so. I'm still gonna do it anyway. So it's gonna be a good supply of power into this. The first thing we're going to need to do with the refinery being in here is make more steel. I'm going to guess our hydrogen vent is dormant. Yeah, for nearly 50 cycles. Zinc ore? Or do we take this? Decreased science, decreased strength is not good though. Because I want them to be tidier, and I also want to give them a carrying capacity upgrade, which I think would just even them out, hopefully. So we're not going to take ulti. We'll take the little bit of zinc ore, even though it's probably not going to do much for us. We're going to be digging into a sleet wheat area. Do we need to focus on any of these? Or can we take any of them off? I mean, we could start using our plastic to change the ladders within the base. I should tell them to sweep that up so we can get it out of the room. I think it's funny now that the visiting pet has gotten used to the room. They are sleeping on the same schedule as my two cats. So I guess cats just sleep a longer period of time in the midday, around noonish. And then take naps for the rest of the day. They're getting stolen by going into getting this cobalt. They're only spending a second in there, though, so I don't think they're too hurt. Oh, we're gonna have to find a different way to get the power through this, so that we require them to have the Atmos suits. Okay, if we start doing Atmos suits, where are the docks? Are they stationed? They are stationed. So we're going to need one Atmos suit checkpoint. I'm going to do that and then put on 0 because I don't want them to make it. And we're going to have a total of 7 dupes, so we'll do 7 of these. And then we need oxygen to be supplied to this, so one of these pipes up here going to these canisters is going to end up being supplying down here primarily, and then into the canisters. We're going to need the thing to make the suits, so the exosuit forge. We're going to have to make 8 Atmos suits, so that we have 1 spare. And luckily, the gas pipe is going to be easy enough. Because all they have to do is go straight in like this. Oh, what are we making these out of? Make sure that they're all cobalt. Okay, they are all cobalt. We need to grab a little bit of power into this forge. So I'm just gonna go straight down for temporary. These are gonna be powered by the main power spine. Like that. They almost have this done. I can't do those without ladders, so I'll have to build a couple right there. So we should be getting a lot of aluminum back while doing that. Alright, so let's keep going down over here. They're still building this. Alright, that should allow us to do these 8 orders, please. And this is going to be on 4 forever. And this is why we want the second ranch over here. Do we have to move that ranch up one? Yeah, we do. We still have to move it up one. We'll get this area down here set up first. And we're gonna want another room for these. I'll do that to hopefully cut off the escaping temperatures from this. We were boxing this in. Let's continue to do that. Why are you getting scalding? Are you getting more cobalt? Probably for this. If we give these a way to release water, they will start taking out the heat from this area. Got a few people who are hurt. Looks like it's about to be defrag time because they're breathing in air. Why are these two up there? Oh, are they on the wrong schedule? No, everyone's on the right schedules. Never mind then. I'll take some extra food. How are we going to get these gases to move the correct way? I think what I'm going to do is switch this to going over here. And then... the easiest thing to take off would probably be this one. And that has to go all the way down to here. We don't need those ladders done anytime soon. Are they getting double heated by going into the water? Okay, they should only be grabbing enough cobalt for one more suit after this one. Let's tell them to finish the stuff up here. Not sure why that was on a 4. And that... the one wire there. We have one extra Atmos suit, which is what we wanted. I don't want this built right away because they're going to take the Atmos suits off of the dock if I do. Meanwhile, we can use these as a storage device for right now. And if we dig at least 2 tiles from right there, they'll have a way to get over here if I block this off. Willow's gotten too hurt. Is there anyone else that's like really low? No, it looks like it's just Willow. Oh, actually, Eduardo is 6 points away from probably being told to get on the triage cot. I wonder if the boops are losing a point of health every time they get wet. Don't know if that's a thing or not, but I wonder if that's true. Okay, they're about to cut this off, so we can go like this now. We also need to dig out another large portion of iron. So what I'm gonna do is figure out a way to get this ethanol to mix with this without making a large mess. We'll dig into here and then dig into that. Because I want to get to this iron here. No, you just got yourself stuck. I might be able to escape now. I'm not sure. We'll start with that amount. And that should give me the amount of iron I need to go from up here all the way around and down. I don't know if I can get through the doors. I might have to deconstruct those 2 doors. But anyway, let's choose our outcome for the second blueprint. We have 10 points in tops. And unfortunately, it was bottoms. I am stealing your points. We will start the final prediction in about 20 minutes and then open it at the start of the next hour. Okay, I'm not doing anything right now because it's about to be defrag time. Forgot to vote, oh no. There was also a Pikachu in chat and I didn't even hear the thing go off for it. Even more food, we'll take it. Eduardo looks like he's very hurt. He is at 50. Let's do the 2 highest first. So can I get Sanyar in here along with Wubby? Alright, Wubby came in here, Sanyar did not. I don't even know where Sanyar is right now. Really, where is Sanyar? Oh, there they are. So they're probably too healed to go in there. So anything above 80, it seems. Or anything above 90. So if we get Dotterly to go in there. And I'm going to lower these to 90, right? Yeah. So I won't see anyone that's above 90. No, we should probably put Eduardo on here. Since Sanyo can't. I didn't even realize that the first dupe got off the thing until just now. What are they working on? Are they just doing random stuff? I think they're doing like minimal base cleaning stuff. Did I just say we're making them out of aluminum? Why is this set up to be aluminum? We were supposed to be making them out of iron only. I don't have them queued up anywhere else, right? Okay, good thing I caught that. We were probably running through our aluminum. We did get a bunch of the iron from right here. So I think if we grab a ladder and place a ladder right there, we should be fine to dig out the rest of the iron. And I'm going to grab this wire. Okay, you can't go through the door. I guess we'll put the Atmosuit Forge on the main power spine because of how low we use it. Like, we barely use the Atmosuit Forge, so I don't think putting it on the power spine would damage anything. Finally went over here and dug out the rest of the ladder. I'm gonna up the priority of this stuff. Then we're gonna have to up the priority of our ranches so that we can get through them a little bit quicker. Okay, they got all of that done up there, so let's do all of this as well. That's something I should probably do in case this oil moves. Is mop that up and place it right here. So do we have a double liquid lock in here? Well, that's gonna take away this. It's not what I wanted. Actually, no, we don't have to relocate that. We just need that on the higher priority. Come on, Sonia, you can finish it before you get hurt. There you go. You can go on there now. What are you doing in there, Webby? Okay, so the gases should be coming all the way down. They are, in fact, in here, but they're not being powered. Because I broke the thing that was right there. Let's also up the priority of all of this construction. They should now start accepting air. Once this first atmosuit is ready to be used, I will queue this up to being turned on. And I don't think we need to store. I think that's filled in. Yeah, it's full fueled. Turn that on. I want to get the crop started in there. We're gonna have to move all of the Dreckos down here. Oh, I just saw something. We need hydrogen to be in both places. We're gonna have to change where we access the ranches. We'll do that in the future. We won't worry about it right now. This I want done first so we can actually start using this. So now this requires a dupe to use the suit to get in here. Which means that we shouldn't get overheated anymore. Is this iron? We need that dug so we can grab this. They can dig a tile diagonally, but they can't grab the debris diagonally through two tiles like that. We also don't need to dig that out. They didn't start building the food for the Dreckos yet, that's fine. I think we need to set this up for a ladder, so if we cancel that build and grab ladders like this. We'll have to put doors on these now, which I will set up like this for right now. And I guess the same here. Now we're gonna have to go in line with the doors to the left. And I guess we'll place a tile there, I don't know. Alright, that's enough queuing for now. What's in the pod? More food. We're doing pretty good. They have the ladder completely filled in. We're just bringing the power down here so that it's connected to this power spine. Right now it's only powering the atmosuits. We can start bringing in the refinery, though. Right, deconstruct all of this. We'll have to get a ceramic refinery, not steel. Yeah, it's ceramic. We need 800 ceramic. And we'll use the peat. We'll burn the peat. We do not need 16 orders of ceramic. We should have enough clay for all of that. We're almost there, chat. We only have 4 more wires, it looks like. The Atmosuit Forge is connected in to the power spine, which means that this is also in the power spine. So we need to disconnect that. So now these are connected into the power spine, which means that we're getting a draw of power. They are using the Atmosuits now. So start doing that. They can do that slowly. I'm more focused on this stuff over here. Because we need to get all of this. They require fertilization, but temperature-wise, they're doing okay. It seems like I'm pushing the temperature away from it. When they do the stuff over here, we'll then turn this into a left or right-hand entrance room. We can now queue up the 2 incubators. I'm gonna put in the second door. And also put in a tile there to make it look neater. And then we can technically deconstruct this now. And the same with this one. But I want to do one door first. I'm leaving these unlocked so they can get into taking out the Abyssalite right there. We're gonna need to deconstruct those two. I'm gonna guess that we need to add ladders to get over to this. And we might as well add a ladder here just to dig that out a little bit easier. Alright, with the sound of my first headphone alarm for low battery, we are going to start our third and final prediction. So in the top left corner, is that going to give us tops, bottoms, buildings, decorations, or wallpaper? In order, we had wallpaper and then a pair of bottoms. I'm going to guess that we're going to have a pair of tops in this next one. Either way, you guys have 10 minutes to decide what you're going to predict, starting now. We will open that prediction at the end of the stream before we read out. So now we should be able to reach all of that. We can deconstruct all of the... no, we don't. Don't deconstruct it, actually. I want to be able to deconstruct this. Actually, we can do that now. Why wait? This goes up a tile, and then we put these in its place. That's one more room done. I caught a new Pokemon. These are going to be used to get over here. So I can deconstruct those two tiles here. How big a room is this? 80, we want a room that's 90, right? 96, yeah. So this is 16 wide? Yeah, it is, well. Probably don't need these ladders anymore, but I'm gonna leave them. I think we want to be able to get in here and add ladders so we can deconstruct all of this. And what else are we doing? I think it's just defrag time. This is getting filled. Pretty nicely, too. And that will allow every dupe that we have to go into the sauna. Seems like we're occasionally getting enough power. How hot is our spawn getting now? 53 degrees. Welcome back, Stinger's Playground. Ani is going well. It's pretty slow, but we're upgrading our ranches over here. Okay, apparently we didn't need that. Got rid of those two tiles because we're going to have hydrogen in these two tiles here eventually. It's a lot of pips. It is a lot of pips. So what we're doing just for fun is first grabbing these Drecko eggs. We have a full ranch of hatches, or sage hatches. They eat dirt. In order to supply enough dirt using pips for one hatch, you need 7 pips being ranched for one sage hatch. So therefore, we have 7 full pip ranches to feed one full sage hatch ranch. And the pips are fed off of the trees. Uh-oh, I think the game's crashing. Yep, wow. That happened the last stream, too. I wonder what's going on. I mean, I was getting those red boxes off over top of random things. Maybe I'm getting like a corrupted save file or something? I don't know. We didn't have this issue before using Bionic dupes. Either way, I'm loading the game right now. You guys should see the loading screen in a second. Or it's going to wait until the game's completely loaded into the save file. Luckily, it did it after an autosave. Like, we just got into the next day, so we shouldn't be too far behind. I think this is when I was going up to show you the ranches. Oh no, we were just about to choose our pod. Either way, we're okay. This did just turn into steam a little bit ago. So we have a steam room there. Once that gets another 25 degrees, the steam turbine will start working. We're gonna want to deconstruct these two tiles and dig that out. That's gonna become our new 2-tile area. Actually, wait. Yeah, these are 3 tiles. That's gonna be our new 2-tile spot for hydrogen. So we should be capable of locking these 2 doors. We don't need this ladder. If they could dig these 7 tiles, that would help a lot. Drecko in there on a 7. Copy settings. These are also going to be on a 7, and they're going to be the Drecko eggs. Oh, that's what we lost. Probably not going to get Drecko eggs. Nope. We get a tender brisket. Are those bones? I don't think a brisket's supposed to have bones. Isn't a brisket like tenderized meat that falls off a bone? I don't like that. But I think this dupe is ironic, getting a digging booster and having decreased excavation. I think Chip is going to be our last dupe that we pick. And then Chip, you're gonna need skill points. We probably want to get more slots first. So what gives us an extra slot right away? Processing 1. You're gonna be our builder. Oh, we didn't look at your construction. Machinery is -3, and I'm pretty sure if we get rid of this and get out of here and play for a second. He dropped the booster, so his skills should go down. There's a -3 in excavation and machinery. Machinery should not have anything to do with construction. With us having 3 slots, we can do all 3 boosters that I want them to do. And then I guess we can put them into digging later. Or we can keep that and have a second digger somewhere else. But either way, that's going to be their 3 skills. As they get better, we will have them increase their skills. Why are they not digging this? I feel like that's been queued up for so long and they're just choosing not to. Next thing I want to do is I want to get this swept out before we break into this ranch. And we have a digger. I don't know where they are, but we have a digger. And I should probably have you tidy? Or should I have them as the construction? No, the construction person has a similar hat to Willow. Willow's our current construction person. And they're also our second digger. Let's put them in construction. That's one thing that we can get Willow taken off of. I should probably tell them to stop cracking Drecko eggs. And no more cracking Drecko eggs. You can crack glossy Dreckos, because we have enough. I want this to have the Drecko egg. What's going on with you? Body temperature. Apparently that one plant is half a degree too hot. But the ones next to it are not. I think it's because of the debris. If we can get rid of that debris, they should cool down. Because we have this next to a cold biome. So we're taking the coldness from this and bleeding it into our ranches. How many critters do we have in here? It says 4. We have more than 4. Because we don't have Drecko queued up to it. So there's actually 8 there. Let's do that. We can get the Dreckos wrangled and put into the correct ranch. I don't know what they're doing, but they're not doing the ranches very quickly. I think they're doing too many tasks. But they're just not able to do things when they queue it up. I think it's funny, when they get wrangled above a door, they go through the door. That Drecko was already in the ranch, but they had to move it anyway. Is all of this on a 6? I feel like it's not. Anyway, we're gonna grab this, we're gonna go up one more, deconstruct those. We're gonna remove all of them and these. We're gonna start raising the floor here. Oh, we can't just... okay. They're almost done getting random stuff out of here. That's phosphorite, so that's going to stay in here. deconstruct all these doors. Deconstruct all of these. Those doors get moved up one, these get moved up. All of this gets placed back in. Not right there. And we can also block this off. We're gonna need to dig all of that. Otherwise our Dreckos aren't gonna be able to get more scales grown. I don't think we need these ladders anymore. We will need these ladders to get rid of these tiles. And then we can get rid of this ladder there. Should I move the power to going this way to make it neater? Probably. Why does it say about the ladders? Oh, the deconstruction. And I'll have to unlock that door so they can do the stuff here. Are they defragging? They are. They did a little bit in here. Did they finish all the ceramic? They did not. They didn't even start it. The clay, we don't have clay. Why do we not have clay? We've had this here for a while. We don't have a single thing of clay. What are the different ways we get clay? If we had bandits, we could get clay from their poop. We don't have that ability. So we just need to have polluted oxygen somewhere. Could take the polluted water from right here and make a polluted oxygen taker or something like that, deodorizer set up in here. Because we're trying to move the metal refinery into here and we can't make it out of steel or steel. They did the power already. I am surprised. Did I set up the other one to only having 8? No, I did not. There we go. We'll take the pemmican. We can also lock these 2 doors. relock this one and wrangle those two. And it's just a matter of getting our digger to get over here and actually dig out all these abyssalite tiles. And deconstruct all of the tiles that were left over from the last ranch. Then we're gonna have to find some hydrogen to put in here. Do one more sweep. And this should be a full ranch of 96 tiles. It is, look at that. And if I'm lucky, I'll start getting some more Drecko eggs. If not, we'll have to get them from the pod only to refill our base here. We can also reed fiber. I'm going to tell them to drop right here. What else is here? The abyssalite, we're going to sweep that up. And I'm going to tell them to sweep up everything else. So the only thing that should be right here is the two things that are made in this ranch, which is the plastic from their scales, the phosphorite, which is their poop. And then we shouldn't have to look at this anymore. I am waiting for the last 5 things there to be dug. Why'd you walk away? There was another thing to dig. All the steam went down. Why is there carbon dioxide in here now? Vacuum. Somebody came in here with something they shouldn't have. We're gonna have to vacuum that out now. Should probably do that before we get steam again. Alright, time to start deconstructing all of these ladders. And a mop, or a sweep, and a sweep over there. Should still be only plastic and bus right there. If they finish that, we're done with these Dreckos. Alright. We wanted the regular Dreckos after getting Atmo suits because we need to read fiber to fix the Atmo suits. Is anyone hurt enough to go in here? Wubby is. We'll get Wubby in the triage cot. Why are they only doing one and then leaving? I wonder how many of these gas canisters we need for one dude. Well, that was two. They went to pick up a third one and didn't. Don't know why that was turned off. We turned off Drecko, but I shouldn't have turned off Glossy Drecko. So that one egg is just sitting there for some reason. I don't even know why it's way up there. Can I have those three things done, please? Power line and one pipe. Why is there dirt in the door? Why is there abyssalite right here? Guess they dropped it while they were running through here. Alright, let's start working on getting fluid oxygen from here turned into clay. So we're going to need to go like this and place it about here. Then we're going to need to add power to it, so I think we'll just go with a manual generator and a large battery. That should be enough. This will also make it so that only fluid oxygen can get out of here. We're probably gonna have to come in here because I don't think there's a lot of fluid oxygen compared to... Actually, there is. Never mind. I do want this done quickly, so I'm gonna make them prioritize it. And I think after doing that, we are done for today's stream. Alright, we're down to micrograms in here now. So this is slowly getting vacuumed out. I need this to always be supplied with sand. Good luck, Gino, catching that Pokemon. Did I accidentally click on the wire? I did not. Congratulations, Gino. I did not get the Quagsire. Alright, so we have our SPOM cooled down relatively. It gets a short burst of coldness from our power network. When our hydrogen vent's no longer dormant in about 30 cycles, I know it's less than 30, but in about 30 cycles, we should have this water get cooled down completely and then not have to worry about it. Our next step to worry about is our base being too hot in general. At some point that will kill off our trees, which can last up to 40 degrees and not more. The oxygen is 40 degrees more, or high, I mean. So these should be getting heated up ever so slowly. So we're gonna have to worry about base cooling, which is gonna be another aqua tuner setup like this. I'm probably gonna throw it in here, because we need to do an aqua tuner to cool these steam turbines. We're down to 5 micrograms. This should be becoming a vacuum on its own. Which it is, look at that. So now the next thing I want to do is, if I can put this here, well, I can. I want to rejig this entire thing to come over here instead. Because our water needs to be on the volcano in order for it to continuously turn into steam. That will slowly bring down here. We are going to need temperature shift plates in here. That'll be another thing to help us. And I'm going to leave these aluminum pumps in there. Because we have fixing it disabled. Now they are going to take the clay immediately and then hopefully turn it into ceramic. So things are looking good. We should be able to allow them to start going back down. Why did... Oh, there's no door. Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to look at the rest of the base. They can start coming down here now. This one ladder here is on a 4, and then everything else is on a 5. And that will slowly bring us to getting a hopefully more stable power supply that we will slowly turn into a very wide steam room. That'll happen over time, not immediately. Alright, I think after we do an autosave, that will be the end of the stream. So let's do our third and final prediction. We have 10 points in tops and 30 points in wallpaper. I hope one of you win. I'm going to assume that's going to be tops this time. It is a building, actually. We don't get buildings often. This does not require a decorating dupe to change. So that is a building. Alright, now we wait for the autosave. We have to keep the water off here. I don't know where the water came from. But we have to keep the water off here or else I don't think this actually gets the polluted oxygen. And I think we might want to come in here and dig out some of the tiles. Just so that this oxygen floats up more, because I think it's pressurizing the polluted gas down here. Oh, we can't get in here anyway. We'll do that. We could come all the way down here and uncork this. I mean, it's already going to be submerged and unusable. But it's another way to make sure we have enough polluted water in here to off-gas into polluted oxygen. Now this unfortunately does mean that oxygen's going to come in here and probably push down all the polluted oxygen. I'm hoping if I open this up, it won't do that. Because we'll block it off again. I think the construction of all this is 6. Kilograms of clay at a time. Getting put in here. We're almost at one thing of ceramic already. So that deodorizes is actually pretty quick. I thought it was going to be like a couple cycles that we'd have to wait, or a couple streams we'd have to wait to get that done. Apparently not. So, let's save the game after our screenshot. We'll zoom out all the way this time because we've done a lot outside the base. Do a hard save. Then we'll do save and quit, go into our raid out scene to find out who we're going to raid out to. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to catch me live, I stream on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays from 10 AM to 2 PM EST.